Whatever
This
you are having.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So first of all, I'll explain the concept, okay, and then I'll ask for the question. If you are having any question in between of this presentation, you note it down, and all together I'll try to answer. Most of your questions will be answered automatically in my presentation, okay, or in the explanation of the process. If you are having you specific question, you can ask when once I'm asking, okay. And second thing, everybody has to be on the mute. Okay, if you have any question when I'm asking, that time you can unmute and you can ask the question. So in this batch, I'm going to start investment management and project system. Okay, so basically, when we are talking about the PS course, the most of the people only talking about the project system contains. Okay, but this course we have designed specifically as per the industry requirement. Whenever we are going for any project as a PS consultant, we should understand the concept of IM. Okay, so so that we can correlate the requirement. Okay, that is my main purpose to include here investment management. Apart from that, when you are going for project system certification, okay, so at least 20% questions you will get it from the IM investment management. That is else, or that is the another reason why I have added IM in this course. Okay, so basically this complete course will have around 35 hours to complete, 30 to 35 hours. Okay, it depends, sometimes it less also, because if we are getting less questions, if it is not interactive, so it will become less than 30. Okay, if it is more interactive, if you are putting questions, if you are asking some questions, it may go more than 30 hours also, but we are claiming it is a 35 hours. Okay, so we are having two portions. First is IM, investment management, and second is a project system. Third is integration with different modules. Generally, if you go with any PS courses, okay, in that case, the people will the consultant use to explain only the integration, material management, SD, sales and distribution integration, and FICO integration. Okay, and IM and PS, that is obvious. But in this course, we have included the integration with the CPM also, commercial project management, and PPM, portfolio project management. Okay, and some conceptual overview of EPC integration. Okay, like if you are having any requirement to integrate with your Primavera or MSP, so at least concept, you should understand the concept. Okay, that is a specific subject. It's very like huge, vast area to discuss the EPC concept. But at least you should understand how we need to collect the requirement. Okay, and same thing in the CPM and PPM side. CPM is itself is a very huge contains. Okay, almost it is also specifically 35 plus hours of course. But here I will explain how we are going to integrate PS and CPM, commercial project management. Okay, so some of participants are new to SAP in this batch. I'll keep it very simple in starting. Okay, I'll go with very plain explanation why we need IM, why we need PS, how we can navigate to the SAP. Okay, and that we will go in the deep. So here my main agenda to explain today the IM investment management and PS project system overview. Okay, then basics of investment program. Okay, so first of all we will discuss the concept IM investment management, why we need PS project system, why we need. That is my main purpose to explain today. Okay, so these references, like when I'm explaining, I'm taking a reference of some documents, okay, or it is based on SAP Pressbook, okay, or it is based on the real-time business processes. Okay, so I'll include my example from my experience, which I have already like the project which I have executed in my past. Okay, and apart from that, when you are planning for any SAP certification, you have to go through of certain documents. Okay, so similarly in PS also we are having some certification documents to reference. Okay, whatever experience you are having, if you are not going through of all these document, it's very difficult to pass the exam. Okay, so for PS project system certification, we are having 6 books recommended by SAP. Okay, we used to call it as a PLM, product lifecycle management. So SAP, whatever document they are providing, they used to have a code for it. So PLM 200, PLM 210, PLM 220, PLM 230, 235, and PLM 240. So these are the 6 books which we have to reference to go for certification. Okay. And you can refer SAP Pressbook also. That is a separate apart from PLM. PLM basically it's a little difficult to understand in starting, but if you are having interest, then it will you will go, like, you will understand each and everything. And it is a Bible. Literally, it will have all the answers of your question. Okay, and this is the assignment after this session. At least you should understand to prepare a list of all the activities to be performed in all phases of investment project. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so first of all, let us understand how many types of projects, like what are the types of project in SAP. Okay, so understand in very simple language here. In SAP, okay, this is an interview question also. How many types of projects we are having? Like project types in SAP. PS I can say, or only SAP. Okay, so project types in SAP, we are having 3 types of project in SAP. Okay, first is investment project. Second is customer project. Okay, and third is cost project. Okay, so what is investment project? As it is cleared by the name investment, this project will be executed for investment. Okay, so investment, when we are thinking of investment, means investment for ourselves. For any organization, when they are looking to do an investment for themselves, in that case, this will be considered as an investment project. For example, one company, okay, as per their need, they decided to construct one head office. Okay, or they are planning to have one, let's say, guest house. Okay, they want to construct a guest house, and by considering the requirement. Okay, so in that case, construction of guest house will become an investment project. Or let's say one manufacturing company, they want to construct one unit, one manufacturing unit. Okay, so basically this unit they are constructing to manufacture the product. Okay, they are not constructing it to sell. So this is their investment. If we are taking the same example in my daily life, when we are deciding to construct a house as an investment. Okay, let's say I have planned, I'll buy one house, I will buy one flat. Okay, and it is for my residence purpose. I will not sell it as per my strategy. As of now, what I've decided, according to that, I will not sell it. Okay, so this will become my investment. And when I'm having any product or services, when I'm selling it, in that case it will become a customer project. So if you see in an investment project, we don't have any customer in the picture, right? We are only having the amount which we need to invest, okay, and the strategy on what we are going to invest it. And when we are going for customer project, we are having product or services to sell. In that case, customer will be there, and we need to sell this product and services to my customer. Okay, so if you have any idea of SAP, you can easily understand for investment project, if we don't have customer, it means we will not have sales and distribution module in picture. Okay, so here when we are going to map this business process in SAP, we will have only investment management module, that is my IM, and following by PS, project system. Similarly, when we are having a product and services to sell, okay, so it means this product or services is not for investment, whatever product I am constructing, manufacturing, okay, or constructing, or whatever services I am providing to my customer, it is not being generated or it is not being manufactured for investment purpose. We are planning to sell it. So it means IM will not be in the picture. We will start from PS and it will be followed by SD, sales and distribution. So here we will have product, we will have customer, and according to the contract between us and customer, we will sell this product or services to them. Okay, like all manufacturing companies, they are like FMCG companies, they are manufacturing the product and they are selling it in the markets. These all are the customer project. Again, we are having some different scenarios here. MTO, make to order, okay, ETO, engineers to order. So we are having different scenarios in all cases, investment and customer project also. Now coming to the cost project, cost project basically we can't say whether it is an investment and we can't say whether it will be a customer project, like R&D project. In R&D project, we are deciding to put some amount to find out some product or services, right? But we are not sure whether we will get it or not. So there is no surety to sell this product or services to customer, right? So it will not be investment and it will not be customer project also. So in that case, whatever amount we are putting to execute this project, it will be considered as a cost, direct cost for us. Means it has to be posted into my cost center. Okay. And until unless we are not getting any product, we cannot say whether it will be a customer project. Sometimes your cost project will become your investment project also automatically, or it will become a customer plus investment project also. It's depend. For example, any pharma company, okay, they used to put the amount to do the R&D to discover some remedy, to discover some medicine for some disease. Okay, so until unless they are not getting the product, it will be cost project. Once they are getting the product, then it will be patented, and then now it is their investment. Okay, whatever amount they have put it into cost, they can consider it's investment. Now they will get the amount from the customers. Okay, so it will become investment plus customer project. But to understand straightforward, let us keep it clear. Investment project, we don't have customer. We are doing investment for ourselves. Okay. In customer project, we will have customer. And in that case, we need to map it into PS and SD. And when we are talking about cost project, it will be directly cost which has to be consumed within organization. So I'll say it's PS only. Okay, but to post it all the cost, I can say it's CO, controlling area. Sorry, controlling module. Okay, so these three types of projects we are having. So let us come back to company again. Let's say this is a company. Okay, this is organization ABC Pharma. This ABC Pharma, they are having all kind of project. They are having investment project, they are having customer project, and they are having cost project also. Investment project, let's say if they want to install or they want to construct some manufacturing of any medicine, in that case it is an investment project. They are already having the orders from the customer to manufacture the product. In that case it will become a customer project. They are having the R&D project, it will be my cost project. So let's say this ABC Pharma is a company, okay, and as per them, whatever the project they are executing, they have to be based on some strategy. Means it doesn't mean like they are getting any project and they will start to execute. No. For example, ABC Limited, ABC Pharma is having their offices in all the cities of India. Okay, let's say some all A grade cities, they are having their offices. Okay, they are having their headquarter in Delhi. Okay, and what they decide that whatever the new offices will be open in any city, they will take a building or a space on rent to start a office. So this is their strategy. In some of cases, they can say that whatever the new offices will be open, they will buy it, they will buy the space, and then only they will start the office. Okay. So it's depend on the strategy of the organization. Okay. So how we are getting all these project, how we are going to start all these project, it is based on the strategy of the organization. Okay. So strategy is nothing, it's just like a rule book. Okay. So this is a rule book, or I would say here strategy. Okay, and strategy, they will already define everything, each and everything, whatever the projects they are going to start, what will be the strategy. For example, if you see some real estate companies in India, okay, they are in very premium class of project. Let's say the Godrej. Okay, so as per the Godrej, they want to do only premium class project. They will not go for any affordable house. They will not go for any road construction project. They will not go for any bridge building, bridge construction. Okay, so what they decided, as per their strategy, they want to be remain as a premium class real estate company to provide their premium class product to their premium class customers. This is their strategy. Okay, so based on that only they are starting their projects always. So when they are putting some amount to for the investment, let's say if they want to start any office or any new residential building to sale, they will consider all these parameters. They will not buy any land in any rural area to sell it to their customer. They will select premium class, premium locations, and they will build up a very premium class quality of product, and they will sell it to premium class of customers. Okay, so this is their strategy. So project will be executed based on the strategy. So whatever the project it is, whether it is investment or customer or cost project. For example, nowadays Corona is going on, okay, and there are lots of pharma companies are there, but all pharma companies are not having the research project to discover the vaccine of Corona, right? Only few companies are there. So as per their strategy, they want to remain in that uh, that class, that they want to be in the R&D as a premium class company, and they will always go in this kind of research. So this is their strategy. Okay, and how strategies are arriving, that is also a question. Means I'm saying that it is okay whenever I'm going for any project execution, I'm doing it based on the strategy. Okay, but how we are getting the strategy? It is based on the vision and mission of the organization. So any company, any organization, when they are starting their business, they are defining their vision and mission. Okay, so they are defining their vision and mission. Based on that only, they will define the strategy, and based on the strategy, they will execute the project. Okay, for example, the Godrej again. Okay, as per Godrej, they want to remain in premium class of residential building construction with the premium class of quality. So what they are having as per their vision and mission, that within a 10 years, when they have started this organization, they have written in their vision and mission, within a 10 years, they want to be in the top 10 companies of India as a premium class residential building construction company. So this is their vision. You can see whenever, like if you go in the different organization, Wipro, TCS, they are having their tagline, vision and mission. They need to, they used to have, and accordingly they will have the strategy to execute. And to achieve your vision and mission, strategy has to be followed. For example, if you are coming back from the starting, when you are founding the company, that time you are defining what you want to sell, what you want to invest, what is your customer, where you want to stand. Okay, so it is based on that you are defining the vision and mission of the organization. And then to achieve this vision and mission, you need to define the strategy. Okay, after defining and defining vision and mission, it will not be sufficient. You need to execute something to achieve that, right? So how you will achieve? You will achieve based on the strategy, but only strategy will not be sufficient. You have to work something, you have to do something. So how you will do? You can do the operation, means you can have a operation kind of projects where you are having continuous services provider. You can have a company who is providing the product or services. Okay, so different areas where you need to work to achieve your vision and mission based on the strategy. This is the concept. Okay, so same concept will be available in PPM also, portfolio project management, where we can define the strategies also. Here we don't have the concept to define the strategy and vision and mission in the IM, but it is having an integration application within a PPM, portfolio project management. Okay, so this concept need to be clear before understanding IM or PS. Okay, so now coming to the if you have any question here, it's just generic concept, but if you have any question still to ask, you just let me know. I'll try to answer that, then I'll go to the next slide to explain. I hope it is clear because I have put it in very simple word, but still if you are having any question, let me know.
Yeah, one doubt. Can you explain once again? It's a customer project from PS to SD.
Sorry?
In customer project, can you explain the PS to SD? How is you migrate? How is you will be done?
Your voice is breaking, but I'll tell you. For example, if you are executing a project, if you are executing a project to manufacture any product or construct any product, for example, real estate company, right?
Yes.
So how they're working? They are constructing a house and they are selling it to their customers. So when we are coming to sale part, in that case we need to create a sales order which will be integrated with your project system object, like your network activities or WBS element, right? And
Yes,
based on that, you need to sell your product. So this is the major integration of PS and SD. Okay.
सर
Yeah.
सर ये सर cost project like we are putting सर cost project जैसे कि हम लोग मतलब किसी R&D में पैसे इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, इसी तरीके का होता है।
हाँ, आपकी शादी कॉस्ट प्रोजेक्ट है, सिर्फ कॉस्ट इनकर कर रहे हो, कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो।
Okay, sir.
Right, your operation is also cost project. Let's say whatever you are see, operation, for example, you maintenance is also a cost project. Okay, for example, you are having your house, okay, and in house
Yes.
is your asset. House is your asset. If you understand that house is your asset, right? But whatever maintenance you need to have for that house, that will not be added any value directly to your asset, right? Until unless it is not a major. For example, you are having 2-story building house, okay, and if you are constructing one more building, one more level, okay, then it will add the value, right? But only
Yes.
if you are changing the flooring, whitewashing, that is a small maintenance kind of, that is your cost. You are directly putting the cost, but it is not adding more value into your asset, whatever you are putting. So there are different kind of cost projects. But the clear example to explain any interviewer, you should explain that R&D project. Okay, it is easy to explain. It is easy to explain in the system also and to understand in the system also.
Okay. मेन सर ये जो मेंटेनेंस ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट हुआ, ये और कॉस्ट प्रोजेक्ट लमसम सेम है।
I'll explain the difference. Actually, see, it is not a straightforward answer. Okay, I will not be able to explain. Sorry, the answer it is straightforward as of now, because you need to understand the integration of maintenance and the project. How we need to understand whether it is an investment. Sometimes it will become investment also. Maintenance, for example, machine you are upgrading. So upgrade machine is you can consider it as a maintenance, right? Let's say you are having very huge machine, and in that maintenance you need to change some part of that machine, refurbishment kind of thing, right? So if it is refurbishment, if it is adding the value into your existing product, existing asset, in that case it will become asset. If it is not, then it will become a cost project. So as of now, to understand it clearly, you understand R&D is the best example to explain here. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. So here, let me come back to explain some basics of. Okay, so here basically this same presentation, it was explained to my previous batch. Okay, but let me explain few topics here to understand the concept of IM here, investment management. So we are going to start IM, investment management. Let's say, come back here. You have decided, just consider as per your personal requirement. You are the person, and now you are going to construct a house for yourself. Okay, so this is an investment project. So when you are going to when you are deciding to construct a house, or you can say when you are deciding to invest to construct or to buy a house, before that you need to have that idea in your mind, right? You have to have that requirement in your mind, that whether you want to have your house or not. It will not be directly just you will wake up someday and you will say, no, I will buy a house. No, you will have some concept, somebody will recommend from your family, your wife, parents, that at least we should have some house. So this is the idea. Okay, first of all, idea will be there. Okay, so here you will have idea. Okay, then this idea, you will understand whether will be we are in the position to execute this idea. I'm saying, okay, I'll buy house, but what is my budget? Okay, as per my capacities, as per my available fund, where exactly I should search to buy house. Okay, so here we need to decide how much fund I am having. So I can say here it is a financial feasibility. I will check. Okay. Okay, then once financial feasibility is okay, I have decided, okay, I'll put 1 crore to buy a house. Okay, then I will decide, I need to think, should I go to buy ready to move, or should I go to buy a land, then I'll construct my own, right? So that is again one more level of feasibility. We can say it's a technical feasibility. If I'm deciding to buy one land and then need to construct it, what strategy I have to follow? Will I have time to observe the construction, or will I be able to manage all the management activity in my construction of my house? Or I would say, or I would give it to my contractor, some contractor to construct it, right? So here you are checking the technical feasibility. Okay, so you, first of all, idea came in mind, it will go for the realization through feasibility study, then it will go for technical feasibility study, and then after technical feasibility study it will go for the approval. Okay, approval means in your family, let's say if you are going for construction of house, then you need to discuss with your family, your parents, everybody is okay, then it is done. Yeah, it is fine, we will go for house construction, we will not go for ready to move, we will buy a land. Okay, then we will hire some consultant to instruct us, to guide us, and then we will go one by one all the activities of my project. Okay, so here I can see it's approval. Okay, so idea, we have idea, then we are going for the financial feasibility, then we are going for approval. Similarly, same activities happened in the organization also. Okay, let's say this ABC Pharma, they are planning to have one additional manufacturing unit in Gurgaon. Okay, so not Gurgaon, I'm saying North India. Okay, so in that case, here first of all they will check the need in North India. We really required this manufacturing unit because we need to understand whether we will be able to deliver the product nearby, or if we are sending the same product to South India, it will cost us, as a freight cost will be added. So we need to understand based on that. Then we will understand here financial feasibility. Do we have this much of enough finance, the fund to do the investment in this location in North India, or we should go for some remote areas to construct this factory or manufacturing unit. Okay, so here we are deciding all the financial feasibility. Then technical feasibility. Technical feasibility, whatever the product is demanding in market, as per that, do we have enough resources, capabilities, technical stuff, technical capabilities to construct this kind of manufacturing unit, or we should ask some international or some international consultant or company to guide us. Okay, so all these things will be decided here. Once it is done, that complete project report will be prepared, right? And this project report will be submitted to the management. Then management will decide whether we should go for construction of new unit, or we should go for some other kind of decision. Okay, so same thing is happen in the organization. So whatever the activities we are doing here, we can manage it in investment management. We can create an idea in the form of appropriation request. We can do the financial feasibility within appropriation request. We can do the technical feasibility within appropriation request, and we can do the approval within appropriation request. So what is the appropriation request here? Appropriation request, as name is clear here, appropriation request means it is a request to start some idea or initiative. Okay, so we are in SAP, we are having different objects to manage different processes. So here in this case, we can implement, or we can manage this complete process based on the appropriation request. Clear? Okay, so appropriation request we'll understand in detail, but it is to just explain. Okay, so when we are starting any project, the idea is coming, then it is going for financial feasibility, it is going for technical feasibility. So here I have taken an example of investment project where we are doing investment. But let's say we are already having a manufacturing unit, okay, and we used to manufacture some product. Then then we are getting any order from customer, okay, and then we need to do the manufacturing of the product. So in that case, what will be the steps? For example, so this is your investment project scenario. Okay, I will write it here, investment project. Okay, so let us understand here customer project scenario also, so it will be clear in mind. So let's say you are already having a unit here, and you manufacture PC, personal computer you are manufacturing. Okay, and there is one company, they are looking for, let's say this is a ABC Pharma, same company. Okay, so now you are here now. Okay, earlier you were here, now you are here, manufacturing of PC. Okay, so this ABC Pharma, they need to buy 1,000 PCs for their offices. Okay, so what they will do, they will send a request to you. Okay, we used to call it as a request for quotation, RFQ. Okay, or ABC Pharma directly, they can publish their requirement in their portal that they are looking for a company who can provide us 1,000 PCs having this much of configuration, okay, within this time of period. So this is their requirement. So whoever is registered as a registered vendor with them, okay, in that case, they will get all this information, and then they will send a quotation. And if ABC Pharma is a government company, as per the government law, they have to publish this requirement in the newspaper. Okay, and by looking into that newspaper ad, then different companies will prepare a quotation and will submit to the ABC Pharma. Okay, so here I am taking example when ABC Pharma directly sending a request to manufacturing of PC. I will say this as a Myvandu Inc. Okay, this is the company and we are manufacturer of PC. So ABC Pharma directly will send a RFQ, request for quotation, to us. And in RFQ, what we will have exactly? They will have the product information or service information for which they are looking. So they will have product information. Okay, and after that they will have product configuration. What configuration exactly they need? Okay, then they will have here conditions. Conditions means payment conditions, how they will pay. Okay, primarily it's not final, but they will have some payment condition, or they will have some different let's say if they are having any other information, or they will have delivery date when they need it. Okay, so what we will do, we as an organization, we will analyze this requirement. Okay, and we need to understand, as per their requirement, are we capable, are we having this much of capacities, or are we having this much of fund to deliver this product to ABC Pharma or not? If yes, then what we will do, we will create an inquiry in my system. Means whatever the information we are getting from the RFQ, it will be maintained in the inquiry. So basically this inquiry is a part of SD, sales and distribution. Okay, in inquiry, what we will have again, this all details has to be entered here in inquiry. Product information, okay, what product configuration, then what is the basic conditions applied by customer, what is the delivery date. Okay, all these things has to be mentioned in the inquiry. And then based on the inquiry, my team, my bidding team, they will prepare an estimation. Okay, so what they will do in the estimation, basically they will search in the market as per their requirement. As per their requirement, if I'm going with the same configuration of required product, what will be my basic cost? Okay, if I'm buying it directly from my vendor, that is the first condition. Second, if I'm manufacturing it in my in-house, okay, then I'm delivering it to my customer, what will be my cost? So I can understand, I can analyze it from the production side also, I can analyze it from direct purchase at the third party purchase, third party deliverable. Okay, so let us consider here internally, I am deciding, I'm planning to have the manufacturing of all these 1,000 pieces. Means I'll buy the product from the market, and then I'll assemble it. Okay, this I'll do. So what I'll do here, estimation, I'll keep it based on that. For example, if my PC that is a P4, let's say P4 configuration, okay, and here I'm providing 1,000 PCs. Okay, based on that, my total cost will become, let's say if I one PC is having 10,000, 5,000 of cost, so how much it will be? 5,000, 50 lakhs. Okay, so total cost is 50 lakhs, and here the product price, one product I am considering is 5,000. Okay, apart from that, I'll mention here as per your delivery date. Okay, I'll define here in this estimation that my delivery date 500 I'll deliver on, let's say, as per 30th October. And next, okay, and next I'll deliver 500 on 30th November. Okay, so this is my delivery date, or okay, and whatever conditions I am having, how payment will be done. Okay, so this payment conditions will also be mentioned here. So having this all information, we will submit it to pharma company. Okay, so once they are going with all the quotations which they are getting from the different companies, okay, then they will decide to whom they should give it this project. Okay, so here if you see, this is a RFQ, and here it is inquiry, and estimation in SD we used to call it as a quotation. We can create a quotation directly. Okay, and this quotation we can submit to the customer. Customer will decide. Once he is deciding, the same quotation will become our sales order. Okay, so here this is a customer project sales order. Now once we are getting the sales order, so this will become a legal abiding, okay, between customer and the company, and as per our terms and condition, we need to deliver the product or services to my customer. Now my initial planning will start. I'll plan how I need to deliver my product or services to my customer. So now I need to make a plan these to deliver these 1,000 pieces to company ABC Pharma. Okay, so whatever the product, whatever the raw material I need to buy, okay, let's say RAM and this hard disk, all these things I need to buy it from open market, and then I'll assemble it. So I need to plan, okay, plan for material, I need to plan for the resources, human resources, I need to plan for cost, okay, I need to plan like a schedule, I need to do the scheduling. Okay, so all these activities will be done in the sequence. Okay, so these are the initial activities which has to be done in any customer project. Clear? So after that, see, this is the initial phase of customer project, which is different from investment. But after that, the way of execution of the project will be the same. Once it is going for the planning, then it is going for execution, then it is going for delivery. So it will be similar kind of, but initially it will be different. So in my PPT, I'm going to explain the same thing. Okay, so coming back here, any question here, please? Here. I hope this process is clear. It will help you to understand the next topics in the. Okay. So coming back to my PPT here. Okay, so here objectives of presentation, leave it. What is a project? Okay, so we understood the types of project, but we need to understand the project also. What is the project? I'm saying the project, but what is the project? So project, this is the typical definition, and please remember it, because sometimes if you are a beginner, then interviewer directly will ask, what is the project? Okay, and if you should explain it, but if you don't have much experience, it is very difficult to explain sometimes. So better to remember this, okay, and then explain word wise. For example, here I will, if I'm saying project are generally complex, unique, and involve a high degree of risk. Any project will have a uniqueness. For example, if I'm manufacturing a product today, that will become a different manufacturing of product tomorrow. Okay, because conditions will be the different. For example, if I'm constructing house today, after 1 year, or if I'm constructing another house just near to this, that will become a different project, because the conditions always will be different. Conditions means that is a primary thing. The location, it is changed, even if it is a 1 feet away, but it is a different, it is a unique, it is not exactly the same, right? So projects are generally complex, unique always, and involve a high degree of risk. There is no certainty to execute, or to, you can say, there is no certainty of any successfulness of any project. It is always high degree of risk. Project have precise goals which are agreed on by you and ordering party. So when you are going to start any project, whether it is an investment project or it is a customer project, it will always have precise goals. Means what exactly you are going to do, what is your objective, why you are executing this project. If I'm saying manufacturing house, why we are the construction of house, why we are constructing house. Some goal should be there, right? So project have precise goals which are agreed on by you and the ordering party. Means if it is a customer project, let's say you are the real estate company constructing the residential building and selling it. Okay, so when we are selling it to my customer, there will be a contract between customer and us. Okay, so always it has to be there. So project have precise goals which are agreed on by you and the ordering party. Project are limited in duration and are cost and capacity intensive. Project will always have the duration. It will not be open ended. You cannot say that okay, we are going to start one project today and let it go. Okay, so it will have some duration, time limits, when we are going to start and when we are going to finish. Cost will be involved. Okay, each and every project will have cost involvement. Without cost you cannot execute a project. Similarly, capacity also has to be there. Means your resource should be available to execute the project. Projects are subject to certain quality requirement. So when I'm saying the construction of house, it doesn't mean just construct without following any quality. So you need to follow the quality also. So projects are subject to certain quality requirement which is mentioned in my contract, which is agreed upon company, us and customer. And this project will have the uniqueness. This will have the high degree of risk. Okay, and it will have some goals. Means it will have the clear cut objectives to deliver the product or services to my customer. Okay, so you can explain in your words, but if you remember these lines, it will be easy to explain it. Okay, so if it is open ended, it will not be project, it will become an operation. For example, there is a manufacturing company. Okay, so manufacturing machines used to be run to produce some product. Okay, so this production is an operation, it's not a project, because it is not having duration, certain duration, start date and an end date. It is having a continuous process, open ended process. Okay, and it will not be unique. You are producing a product, same product again and again. Okay, so operation will be a continuous process and project will have start date and end date. This is the major difference between operation and project. Okay, so some interviewer used to ask this question also. If you are having 3 to 4 years of experience, so this kind of questions used to be asked. If you are a beginner, then it's sufficient to explain the project, what is a project, what are the phases in project. Okay, so let us go next. PS, basically it is integrated with FICO, it is integrated with MM, PM, IM, PPSD. So I'll explain how it is exactly integrated. Okay, so let me explain this. So when we are going to execute any project, these are the 4 phases in any kind of project, whether it is investment or customer or cost project. First is a rough cut planning, or you can say it is a initiation. Okay, then next is a detailed planning, you can say it's a planning. Third is a execution. Okay, and fourth is a closing or handover, right? So when we are saying rough cut planning or initiation, this is the phase when idea is being generated, or when your customer is asking for the quotation. That time they are sending the RFQ request for quotation, and then we are responding in the form of quotation. Okay, so when we are checking the available activities in that phase, so in rough cut planning or initiation phase, we are having rough cut structuring, define quantity basis. Means what exactly is asked by the customer, or if it is investment project, what is the quantity which we need to have finally as asset. Quote, if it is a customer project, we will quote. If customer is asking for any change in quotation, then we will plan it, sorry, requote it. We will change in the quotation and we will send it to them. We can plan it. So these are some major activities here. Okay, so as I have explained, I have defined in my assignment, okay, that you need to mention the phases need to be executed in any kind of project and all the activities which we need to execute in that particular phase. So I am talking about these activities. In interview also it used to be asked in the same. For example, if you are saying I am having experience of construction or real estate business, okay, I have done some management in residential construction project. So okay, that is fine. Then what are the phases in any construction project? That will be the next question. So you need to say that first is the initiation, second is the planning, third is the execution, fourth is a delivery or closure. So in initiation, what was the activity? Okay, initiation in any real estate company, they need to buy a land, then need to legalize it. Okay, then do the feasibility study, technical study, right? And then plan. Next, you will then you will go in the approval. Then you will move to the plan. So each phase is having its activities to be executed in that. Okay. So it is your initiation, then you move to the planning. And in planning, you will do the planning, let's say cost planning, budget planning, scheduling, resource planning, your material planning. Okay, all planning has to be done. If it is a real estate company, how it will be, you will have the design, rough cut design. Okay. And once design is approved, then you will have other designs. For example, you will have for design for plumbing, you will have for, let's say, your wiring, all these things, HVAC system, your AC, all these things, the planning document you will have. Okay, once it is approved, then you will have the final cost planning, then budget planning, then resources planning has to be done, then material planning has to be done. Okay, then quality planning. Okay, so all this planning will be done here in this phase. And then you need to plan for procurement also. So for example, if you need to procure something, you need to create a purchase requisition. You need to order to your vendor or contractor to buy it. Okay. Then once it is done, you will move to the execution phase. In execution phase, you will start to execute it. Your contractor is working now. You are going on the site and you are checking everything is running fine. Yes, you are writing. You are taking the daily report. Okay, and the vendor is asking for the payment. You are doing the payment to the vendor. So all these activities will be there. Okay, and then if you are having construction link plan, let's say if it is a residential building and you are having a construction link plan, when once construction level is completed, you need to send a bill to your customer. In that case, you need to send a bill to the customer, all the customer who has taken the flat in that building. Okay, so that part, these all are activities which we need to have in execution. Once execution is finished, then we need to deliver it. Finally, we need to give the key of that flat to my customer. Okay, so that is a closer. But before closer, it will be checked technically whether everything is fine. Your government bodies will check. They will provide the NOCs. Okay, then all these things, all activities will be taken care in the closer phase. So you need to understand each activities. And here, why I'm giving the example of real estate, because it is very easy to understand. Okay, I can give you example of utility companies, some manufacturing of substation, some manufacturing of nuclear reactor, but it is very difficult to understand because it's more technically. But here, when we are coming to understand the real estate, everybody is having at least some idea they are having how the business practice used to be followed. Okay, and the next so these are the phases and activity. So in assignment, you need to mention all the activities. You decide one project type and you mention here. In SAP, how we can map it? It is just general idea, but you will understand it. In PS, we need to create a project structure, then we need to create a project planning, then planning execution, project execution, then project closing. Okay. So it is directly jumping to the project structure. let me come back here. Okay, I'll not go to the next level. I'll go to the basics here again, because we are in IM, investment management. Okay, so I have explained here the concept of investment project. I have explained the concept of customer project. Okay, the process steps, the activities. Next, when we are discussing, let me do one thing here. So do one thing in next session, I'll start exactly, I'll show you how we can start in the IM. But if you have any question here, please let me know, and I'll show you some basics things, how you can access the investment management, how you need to navigate, because I know few candidates are very new to SAP. But if you have any question from this area, please let me know.
Sir, till now
Okay.
everything is okay.
Okay, so do one thing, 1 second. I let me explain here how you can access the SAP. First of all, 1 second. Okay, so here, see SAP. In SAP, we can execute a transaction. Okay, here in NetWeaver, or we can execute transactions in Fury or in the GUI. Okay, so here we are having three things. First is the GUI. We used to call it the graphical user interface. Okay, and second is NetWeaver and WBC, NetWeaver Business Client. Okay, and third is Fury. Third is Fury. So let us see the difference. What is the difference between all these? Okay, so here when we are going for graphical user interface SAP GUI to access the SAP, in that case the logon pad has to be installed in the system to access the SAP. Okay, logon pad. In that logon pad you will have the server details, and then only you can access that server. Then you need to put the user ID and password and then execute the transactions. Let me open my system here. One second, please. Okay, so here, see, this is your, this will be your screen, and you should have GUI installed in your system. Okay, if you are accessing directly in your system. Okay, and here I'm accessing it through remote desktop connection. So this particular GUI is installed in that remote desktop. Okay, this is a server here. This is added here. We can see here in the view, go to details. So it will show you the server detail. 1 second, or let me show you here. So this is a server detail here. Description CPM, application server is a EHP8 IDES system, instance number 19, and system ID is ECC. So once you will have, then See, you will have two buttons here. One is user menu, okay, another is the SAP menu. So SAP menu will remain same in world. Anywhere you go, it will be the same. Okay. So here you will see in the same way. Any system you open, any SAP system, ECC or S4HANA, so it will be almost same here, the SAP menu, whatever we are getting. Okay, and if you see here user menu, this will change as per assigned roles to your user ID. Okay, so to access any transaction, you go into SAP menu. Okay, and here you can search SAP project system and investment management. So to search, go to accounting. Okay, here you will see investment management. So all the transactions we will execute here in IM. Okay, and project system we will execute here in the project system. And as you know, in SAP, to execute any transaction, we should have one T code. Okay, so for example, if you want to, sorry, I think I did not share my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh God. Okay. So here, see again, let me explain here. So this is your initial screen. Okay, you will have here user menu. You click here. So this, whatever the transaction you can see here, it is based on the roles which is assigned to your user ID. Okay, so it will change. Let's say if you are in today in some other project and tomorrow some other project, in that case, as per assignment of the roles, this will be changed. Okay, and if you see the SAP menu, it will remain the same anywhere, everywhere in the world, it will be the same. Okay, so when you want to see here accounting, sorry, the investment management, you go to the accounting, you go to the investment management, and here you can see the project system. As you know, in SAP, you can execute any transaction through code, transaction code. So if you are going in the project system, go to the project. This CJ20N is the code to execute the project. It means to create a project, to manage a project, to close a project, CJ20N project builder, this transaction will be used. So if you click here, it will take you to the transaction. Okay. Or you can directly enter this transactions here in the transaction area, CJ20N. So it will take you to the same place. So this is the way to execute a transaction in GUI. Okay, but you can execute your transaction in NetWeaver also, means in your HTML format, in a website format, NetWeaver format. Okay, why I'm saying website all because see, it is it looks similar. It is not exactly the same, but it is similar to understand. So let's say here I need to remember the T code. I need to put it here, and it is coming in very ancient kind of screen here. But here, if I want it's more flexible, go to NWBC. Okay, so here also I can execute the transactions. Okay, so basically in my user ID as of now, I don't have any PS. Let me see, PS project. Yes, project builder. I can open it here, project builder. So I was accessing through transaction code there, but here I'm just clicking here, it is appearing to my screen. So I'm not entering any transaction code. There is no need to remember any transaction code here. Whatever you are authorized, it will be available into your system. Here as a left panel, you just need to click on that transaction, it will open. For example, I need to see the workforce planning. You click here, transaction will open. Okay. Same thing you are doing here also, but it is not this much of flexible how we are having in NetWeaver. Okay, here you can add that transaction into your favorite. For example, let's say project builder. I can't remember it again and again. So you can create a folder here. You create a folder, go right click here, go to insert folder, let's say PS. You include all the PS relevant transactions here. So you right click here on PS, go to insert transaction, CJ20N. Okay, so likewise you can add here your transaction in favorite, but it is not like how we are having this much of flexible in NetWeaver. Okay, and third way is doing through Fury. Okay, basically in this system we don't have the Fury, but I'll explain. Fury, you can have app in your mobile. Okay, like how you are using your WhatsApp, some other app. Similarly, you can access your project system through app also. Okay, or investment management transaction through app also. Okay, so in my upcoming sessions, I'll show you here the Fury how you can access it. But as of now, for today, I'm explaining for GUI and NetWeaver only. So when we are going forward to understand investment management or project system, we will execute all the transaction through GUI only, not through NetWeaver. Because in NetWeaver we need to add all the rules, user ID wise, it's very difficult. Okay, so learning will happen in GUI, and maybe 80% projects will also be executed through GUI only. In some of projects only you will get a chance to execute the transactions based on the Fury or NetWeaver. Okay, so we will follow the same. So in my coming sessions, I'll take you to the system to map the scenario or to explain the object from the investment management perspective. Okay, so for today's session, I'm closing it here today. If you have any question, please let me know. I'll answer, then I'll close it. Yes, please. Okay, I need to stop the recording.